Welcome to the dressing room with Arabiya News. We have a massive guest here today. We've got one of our guys actually that's not here. He's globetrotting. I don't know what he's doing at the moment.
He's on holiday again.
Is he on holiday?
Again.
But listen, Joe Cole's not in here, but we've got a very, very worthy replacement. And it's the one and only. Actually, let me introduce him properly. Right? 2 Premier Leagues, yeah? He's got an FA Cup, yeah? That's actually what he's parading around Miami with at the moment.
Yeah, Joe is, yeah.
The Emirates Cup.
Well, skateboarding, by the way.
Yeah, doing all of that. If go on his Instagram, you'll see him. He's got a League Cup, right? He's also a DJ, and he's a pundit extraordinaire. Listen.
Extraordinaire.
I played with this guys at Wolves, yeah? He then went on to have a great career for himself. Obviously, he went on to Everton, then he went to Man City, then he went to West Brom. Now he's like a proper pundit that everybody respects, and I've just got to give him so much cred because the journey's been brilliant, hasn't it? So
cheers,
we've got Joleon Lescott, everybody. Round of applause.
Not
What's
bad,
a geezer?
Not bad. Call him watch his back,
That's the best
man.
intro yet,
Yeah,
man.
man,
Isn't it?
yeah.
Let me just tell you something.
Natural.
Listen, as I was saying before, I went on loan from Chelsea to Wolves in
I
the
never knew that.
Championship.
Yeah,
You didn't know?
most people don't know that,
I
yeah.
went for a month, geez.
That was how long ago
What, they sent you back?
No, remember,
Dave Jones.
you could loan for a
You
month
go
back
for a
then.
month.
No,
Sorry.
I know. That would be the best story ever, but I ain't got a story on that.
Yeah.
But so basically, what happened with me was I went to Wolves on loan for a punishment.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Punishment?
I was coming in late. Claudio Ranieri had enough of me, and he said, "Nah, you need to get out." Dave Jones was the only taker.
Wow.
Mate, he was not, he gave me my debut.
Coincidentally, yeah, but we all had the same
He gave
agent
my-
at the time.
Oh yeah, and that made sense. Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And he had Dave Jones.
That's
as
what I'm
well,
saying,
didn't
yeah,
he?
exactly.
Dave Jones. Also, that
Yeah.
made sense. I didn't even know that.
I
didn't
do
even know
that.
but-
I do that.
But that's what happens in football. Like
Mate, I like Dave Jones.
Dave Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good
I got
manager
on-
for me, yeah.
He gave me my
His
debut.
debut.
He really,
Yeah.
he believed in me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, like with Dave
We had the
Jones.
same agent though at the time, though.
Yeah.
So I think
it made sense.
I
Didn't
think
it?
he believed in a lot of
They
the
get
aftermath.
into all the young kids, don't they? Yeah.
But Dave Jones for me was unbelievable. Like I remember walking in and he just made me feel welcome. Obviously, that was the first time I met you properly,
yeah.
like at your football club, because I think we had run-ins with the under
It would have been
England.
Yeah, it would have been 17s or something. It would have been young
yes.
age groups then.
Yeah, but I only went to one of them, but you were there. And I always remember Joleon just being welcoming and settling me in. Because I had to because remember, I was only there for a month.
Yeah.
And I got called back. The reason why I got told to go to Wolves was because I was coming in late every day. Ranieri had enough of me. And he said, listen, you need to do one because you're disrupting the team.
Yeah.
Like people are not respecting me, so you need to get out. So I've gone. I think I played about 5 games.
Yeah.
I remember Paul Ince. You had Paul, in that dressing room, you had Paul Ince, you had Dennis Irwin.
Yeah.
Who else did you have in there?
Paul
That was
Butler.
a ledge. Alex Ray,
Colin Cameron,
yeah.
Mark Kennedy.
Obviously, I came in because Blakey was injured.
Blake, yeah, Nathan Blake and
Yeah,
Dean
we had
Sturridge.
George and Dar.
George. What a player he was.
Who else was that?
Studge was there then.
Yeah,
Was
he was. He
Yeah,
was
Studge
there.
would have
Studge
been
was
there.
there.
I mean, that's a decent team.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
our championship team was
Yeah, for a
outrageous.
championship.
Because it
That
had
was the
nails.
team,
Remember, it
that's
had like
unreal.
Lee Naylor,
Yeah.
me, Paul
Lee
Butler.
Naylor.
Do you know? Sorry,
Yeah,
Go on.
Lee Naylor. He
Was
came
gone
up in
seventh.
our thing the other day. We were talking, me, Joe, about the first night out. We had under 18s.
Oh yeah, he did come
Mate,
up.
it went a bit
Mental.
sideways. Lee Naylor was there. He don't mind a night out.
Get him on, you should get him on.
Yeah,
it was
we
a
get
good,
him on,
it was a
man.
good team. That.
Good guy.
Oh yeah, our team was like mad strong. To be fair, like
Got
Ince.
promoted that season.
Yeah, Ince, Colin Cameron, Alex Ray. On the wings was Sean Newton and
Sean
Mark Kennedy
Newton.
and Kenny
Yeah.
Miller.
Yeah, Kenny
That's
Miller.
a decent
Yeah,
chap.
team was
Oh, my
stacked,
God.
man. Our team
Yeah,
was
yeah,
stacked.
yeah. It was a good
Yeah.
team. Kenny Miller, he was he
Yeah,
surprised
he's a
me
baller. Yeah, he's
as a
baller.
person.
Yeah. Oh, 50. No, what do
He
you
was
call
like
him?
he's basically a rapper.
Yeah, 25 cent.
Kenny Miller. Listen, I know he's a coach now, isn't he? He's a
I
manager.
think so, yeah.
He's doing something.
They used to call him 50 pence.
Listen, Kenny Miller, like, I used to love him.
Kenny.
I used to love him because he
Kenny
was down. He was like one of
Kenny
those.
was active,
He was a
yeah.
brother.
Yeah,
he was a brother,
Kenny
wasn't
was
he?
active.
was-
Yeah, he
he's
come down
basically
with
a
like
brother.
spiky hair. Next thing you know, he's got skin fade. Escalades and spinning rims and that.
I wonder what he's like saying to his players now. Like, when
Yeah,
he's
he's
coaching
aggressive.
them. He's aggressive.
Yeah,
isn't
he's
he?
aggressive.
'Cause he's always an
Yeah,
aggressive
yeah.
fella.
Scottish, man.
He was
Man,
aggressive on the pitch, wasn't
Oh
he?
yeah, but
I remember,
he always made a difference. Like, he was
Kenny
a
was
runner.
good, man.
He
Kenny was
the
quality,
standard
man.
was high. And Dave Jones, as I said, Dave Jones made me feel so good when I went there. And I was actually, listen, I went back and I went back to, obviously, I think we had Sunderland away when I went back to Chelsea, and then I'd scored. So something did work, and it clicked for me whilst I was at Wolves, because I weren't taking the piss no more. I went back to Chelsea. More professional.
Yeah.
And I saw a team bond like no other. That season, you guys got promoted, didn't it?
Yeah.
So that was a good time for you
Yeah, it
guys.
was.
Yeah, but being late's just part of your personality, mate.
Yeah.
Well, it was.
You've been late for the pod like 4 or 5
Oh, give me a
times.
break.
You know what I mean?
This is what I'm trying to
it's,
say,
It's
yeah?
still not gone.
No.
Send
I
him
was
alone.
early today.
Send him alone. Send him out to another
Hold on a
pod.
minute.
Send him to another pod for a month.
I was here before you today.
Yeah, but I've never been late.
And I've travelled all the way from Como.
That's what I'm saying.
But I've
That's
never been
It's
late.
not a race to who's here first. It's whether you're late or not. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Anyway.
Anyway.
So let's moving on swiftly. So we're here because you have signed up, because you're still playing football now, aren't you?
Yeah.
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 So the Baller League.
Yeah, I'm a.
What's that saying?
This is obviously going out after tonight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm due to play tonight for Micah's team. I'm his wild card. So I think
What's the team called?
You're his
Deportivo.
wild card.
Yeah. So each team gets 2 wild card players.
Right.
So
Who's the other one?
I don't know. I don't know.
Ah.
He could pick anyone. He could be anyone. Like
Yeah, he didn't call me.
I think he knows.
He
man.
knows about your knee, man.
Yeah, I think he knows. You're not capable. But no, yeah. So we're playing tonight for Deportivo. It's his Alan Shearer and Gary Lineker's team.
Oh, really?
They're the managers. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. To be fair, because I still mess about, and it's funny.
I'm jealous of that. I just
But it's funny. It's like because
But you've always had a bad knee, though.
Yeah. But
So
I always
you're
managed
still
it,
going.
because I do the stuff that we had to do when we played to train. So now I just do it a little bit less, but I still do it so I can play. You know what I mean? But yeah, when we play and you see all these like techie guys, and then you realise technique and talent is like so far from the actual game of football.
Yeah.
It's like it's nowhere near the same sport.
Yeah.
Like we played in a tournament last week with like the guys are playing, some ex-pros and some like YouTubers and that, and we won this tournament. It was like we played this team, and like for a few minutes we just concentrated a little bit more. 5
That's
goals.
all it is,
and
isn't
that's
it?
it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we can.
They haven't got that, have they?
They haven't got like when that pass is going there. I know his only option is that.
They
so
can't read the game.
Oh, mate,
That is reading the game.
it's crazy.
That comes down to.
It's crazy.
Sounds like me.
Just
then. Mate, you lot read the game a lot better than I did. I tell you that. Let's read it. Do you know what? I always say that because I've obviously got sons that play. I just say, listen, if you read the game, if you read if you're 2-3 steps ahead on predicting where the ball's going to land or what pass is going to be on at what time, so you can position yourself to get into the right. Like, it's priceless. You don't even have to be as quick as the quickest player on the pitch. You could still affect the game in the positive way.
It's the mentality of working for each other, I think, rather than just trying to do this little bit of skill, step over and score a goal.
Get,
when I coach
get
under
makes,
10.
makes, but not go nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's the reading of the game for me is like, say if you're closing down, I'm covering you a little bit, but the ball might go there, so I go there. I think that's so simple, but some people just can't even see that.
100%, yeah,
That blows
like the
my
angle of
mind.
approach is like, well, if you go there, that means I can mark there. That means that can't happen.
Yeah.
Players don't.
People can't see
Well,
it.
let's talk about your obviously you've been doing coaching as well.
Yeah.
So you've coached England under 21s.
Yeah. Well, parts of the staff.
Yeah.
And taking all the credit and then seniors as well.
And you went seniors with Lee Carsley and
Yeah,
Ashley
yeah,
Cole.
yeah.
How was that? Like, I remember seeing it. Listen, mate. For me, my head was big when I see you on the England team, the England coaching staff. I think I messaged you straight away. I was
standard.
like, bro, This is a
It's
big
mad. It's a
boy
real-
moment.
yeah,
This is the
Oh.
best thing about Carlton. When anything good happens to anyone,
Oh, I
he's
love
so
it.
happy for
Yeah, man.
everyone.
Well, I don't know why people aren't happy
Yeah,
for
it's
people,
mad,
especially
isn't
when
it?
you know
Yeah,
someone.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I know,
So,
yeah.
No,
like I
because
said, we
you
were
gotta
message.
understand. Yeah, like because
Yeah.
you gotta
What's going
understand, it's
on?
a big moment, man.
Yeah,
Like
man,
that's
massive.
like one of your own is up there on the TV representing his
But
country. So
you,
he's done.
you
He's
are
done.
one of the best hype men. You
Oh
are
yeah,
a
mate.
good hype
I'm a
man.
cheerleader. Get the
You
pom poms
are.
out, man.
You're very
Get
good
the
at
pom
it.
poms out.
Hype
You're
man,
good
hype
at
man.
it.
Yeah.
You are good.
But that's what I'm saying. But so how was that feeling for you? Like just being on
Surreal.
the being
Just
in that
surreal, yeah.
in the dugout.
environment.
Yeah.
To be fair, like I said, it was just being asked to do the 21s was special. Do you know what I mean? Because luckily for me, like I've had a few opportunities after playing and I've been asked to do them due to me, not necessarily, oh, I need a coach, let's get Joe, or I need someone to help the loans. It was like, no, I think he's the person for it. So, and it was the same with the 21s and the seniors. Like, so the privilege was being asked by Cars. You know what I mean? I played with him at Everton and someone I get on and have a huge amount of respect for.
Yeah.
So for him to just ask me, not one of just someone.
Yeah.
He wanted me, so that was the massive honor.
That's a massive testament to your character and the person you actually are. Look, you're very knowledgeable about the game anyway. When you see you on doing TNT or wherever what channels you go on, we know that you know the game because the way you simplify it when you're talking about it, you simplify it because sometimes we make it. Some people make football sound so hard, when it actually isn't. And I've noticed that your delivery is like. You make the game look so simple, and it's good. It's digestible. It's digestible for the punter that's listening.
I think we all would have worked with Glenardo.
Yeah, Glenn Oddle.
Yeah,
Don't get him started.
Mate.
Do not get him started with Glenn Oddle. He loves it.
No, he's my
Every
best
show.
Best manager.
Yeah.
I worked on that because that's how he spoke to me. He didn't speak to me like that, but that's how he spoke, and that's how I understood it. It was like so clear. I was like, oh, I thought of that, but I didn't know that's what it meant. And then it was just so clear the way he was delivering messages, and even when he was speaking to like wingers or forwards, I was like, that makes sense to me, and I could relate it to my position.
For me, he's just like I put him up there with Mourinho.
Yeah,
Just because at Southampton, mate, we were sixth position when he left.
yeah.
Southampton with relegation battle the whole time. We were in like sixth position. For me, what I noticed with him, he worked a lot of me on the mental side of the game, visualization, which I know some of the under 10s is my kids' team, but that's what I try to work on them. Their mentality is probably one of the most important things because if you don't get that right, you probably ain't going to make it.
I remember when he used to come, and when he first come, and he banned me from speaking in the warm-ups. Like, I was like, what?
What do you mean?
Like he upped my professionalism, to be fair. So like, it was like, no, this is serious. You've had a knee injury as well. I don't think you're taking the warm-ups as serious as you should. Yeah. So I don't want to hear your voice. I want you to concentrate. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. And like, just things like that I just took for granted. And then, as I said, he was so, coaching-wise, he was so far ahead of and the details of how each position was
so
important.
we talk about details. What are we detailing here? Like wait a pass or what foot to take it on? Back foot,
formation.
So the formation was huge. So he was the first coach that we did everyone played 4-4-2.
What'd you play?
3-4-3.
Oh, we played 4-3-3, but like Mourinho came on and played it, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's doing this."
Yeah, well, he did that with us at first. It was like Cole Court, Kenny Miller, and Jeremy Aladier. That's who we had up front. Yeah. We played Ipswich. Oh, yeah. No, it was 4-3-3, yeah. So we were playing Ipswich. They would come, and they were 3-5-2, like top of the league, cruising. So he said to the strikers, never heard it before, he said, don't come back. I was like, huh?
Yeah. The same with us.
He said, what?
He said, don't come back.
To the strikers?
To the strikers. So
the front three.
Front three. So we had our front three.
Then they ain't bombing on.
So what Pep is doing now, like he said that to at Wolves, and then all of a sudden there was about 5. And then now we're bapping them in midfield. 2-0 at half time. I'm like, oh my God.
And it was the interaction between the fullback and then for me, like the movement, them tucking in view. Mate, he was so good.
Oh yeah, he had me. He like build up and that. He would want me on the ball. I was like, oh yeah,
I
can't wait.
By him, man.
I would have loved to have seen him at England manager again because I think he would have done something.
Yeah. Well, he was going to change the formation that I feel suited the players the best.
Oh,
so we were going to
100%,
play a 3 at the back for England, and that would have just
And I met him probably about 6 months ago. I started with a life coach and started doing meditation again. First time I've done it since Glenn Hoddle.
Yeah.
And it's really good for me because it makes me just I like a bit of hot yoga. It makes me really like zen. Mate, I bumped into him the following week.
Mad at it.
See,
And it was,
law of
then I was
attraction,
talking
man.
to him about, and he was talking to me about how like that can kind of fix what's in your body. And it's mad. Like he was so far ahead
advanced.
of his time.
He was definitely advanced.
So far ahead.
So we're talking about England, yeah. So look, you obviously coached there. You watched the game last week, did you? Did you digest it?
What the seniors? I
yeah,
watched a
the
bit of the
seniors.
21s and then I watched the seniors. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So I'm quite intrigued with this. So. Do you watch the 21s more than you'd watch the seniors? Are you more interested in the 21s because you're more invested in it?
Yes, because of the staff. No disrespect to the players, but a lot of the players that we worked with have moved up. So I just watch the players that you can gravitate to and you have relationships to. So I watched some of the 21s. I watched a bit of the France game.
Yeah.
And then
Unbelievable. Nwaneri.
Yeah. That was the Portugal game.
That was the Portugal one, yeah. Great goal, wasn't it?
Yeah. So like, obviously, but I don't know him.
You don't know him,
like
he's coming
Job and all them guys. This is like a new batch. So
Yeah.
It was nice to see that. But like then I watched the seniors, and it's like the lads that I've worked.
Did you
with
take
and
in over the game, Bridgie? Like,
I watched bits of it.
what do you think?
Done well, but they're just. It's hard, isn't it, playing for England? I think you're always going to get
critiques. Yeah. This
critiques all the time.
not everyone isn't happy.
Yeah, I'm just a massive Phil Foden fan.
Yeah, but
And I know
the
he
ways-
took a little
yeah.
bit. He's took a lot of stick, and he's got to play the number 10 role, and that's it for me.
Listen,
That's my opinion
I saw
anyway.
on some other podcasts and everything that there was this big debate about Phil Foden and his role in that England national team, and that he hasn't actually really cut the mustard just yet. And is there actually a space for him, or is
definitely.
Yeah, but
Wait,
you
are
say
we-
that, right?
Yeah.
This is my thing. When you say that, this might be but have any of them really, like, they haven't really got to the level they should do. So, I feel like
what the players individually.
okay, it's a bit like when I look back when I was playing. Well, I wasn't playing; I was sat on the bench. But it was like, you had like Scholes,
Yeah.
Gerrard, Lampard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel the formation was played that suited the players we had, or one of them had to miss out,
Yeah.
and it would have been better.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably what's happened with the team
With Phil right
with
now.
Phil Foden. That's my
No, I
opinion.
I understand what you're saying. I'm thinking because when I was watching the debate and a few debates actually, and I was thinking, when you look at Phil Foden, he's such a renowned talent. Like the talent that he's got and what he could do with the ball is just, you want to see that transfer from what he was doing for Man City last year, not this year so much, but last year, and where he's got to in his career because of his talent. Now I want to see that transferred every game. Really, I want the ball to go to, because he's he's so creative. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
difficult
he's
though.
got
It's
an
not as easy as
imagination.
Yeah.
People think.
No way.
It's not as easy
Nowhere
as people
near.
think. That's
Is
for
he
sure.
being helped? Will he be helped by Tuchel? And will Tuchel get the best out of him eventually?
I don't know. I hope so.
kind of
I hope so. It's like you would hope that, but it's hard to say who's like what needs to
You
happen.
talk about the number 10 role, yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's different. The role and the player style are different. Like we associate number 10 with that role and that flair and stuff, but Jude doesn't play with that.
No.
But he just
He makes
affects
it-
the game.
yeah.
Lampard,
Could you play another position?
Frank didn't play like that.
No.
Frank was a number 10. He wore 8. He was a number 10. Did he have much flair? No, but he affected the game.
Yeah.
So that you can't.
That's another argument. That is.
I see a
that?
thing that Gary Neville said the other day, that England should have played 3-5-2.
100%.
So he should have played Scholes, Gerrard, Lambert in
100%.
midfield, Becks on the left, Ash wing back, 3 centre backs. Gary Neville might have missed out, but I remember hearing him say it. That probably would have
doesn't mind.
suited better.
100%.
Yeah.
But the two strikers, Wayne Rooney and any other striker,
Yeah.
like Michael Owen or M,
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's true.
like
So-
them three midfielders.
Do you know what? There's something about Phil Foden, because I haven't watched a lot of football. I remember I went to an England game a few years ago with my kids. Mate, it was the warm-up and little bits of his touch, the way he touches, the way he can, like...
He doesn't
It
look-
reminded me a little bit of David Silva.
Yeah.
Reminds me of David. And
No,
David
no.
Silva's probably the best player I've played with,
Yeah,
I reckon.
David.
He's definitely that type of player, but is he going to live up to the David Silva heights like of respect after his career? Because David Silva, for me,
David wasn't respected when he played.
no.
No,
one near.
near.
It's only now he's getting
I
love.
still don't even think he's
I think
finished.
it's the players that have played with him that have come out and said how good he is.
Okay.
I still don't even think he's appreciated. To the
Man
level.
City fans do,
for
though. 'Cause
10
I've got
years,
a lot of Man City fans.
He didn't have a bad spell. There was never a period of time where someone questioned David Silva. For a month, never mind
crazy
for
that is,
half
isn't
a
it?
season.
I don't think you could ever question him, mate.
Never.
He
He didn't miss games. He played, and when he
But
played,
that half gets taken for granted though, doesn't it?
availability.
Yeah. And I always tell young players, no matter what, you can have a poor game or anything, but always be available.
100%.
Because if you're not available, how are you supposed to, you could be the best player in the world, but you're never available, so then what's the point? We look at Neymar, for instance. I know this is going off tangent a little bit, but you look at Neymar, even when he was at Saudi now, like he wasn't available.
Nah, man.
So you can't see what that he's world class. Because you can't play, no one's seen you.
Yeah,
so I always say, look after your health and make sure that you get that on that pitch.
But that's the hardest thing to do because, like you said, people take it for granted that to stay fit for 10 seasons, you have to do the right things. 90% of the time.
Yeah.
You can't go out every week. You can't.
The sacrifice. The sacrifice.
Is it sacrifice? It's just choices. The choices you have to make are different to wanting to be the best player of the month.
All right. So when you come in today, you had a choice. Yeah.
Here we go.
There was a rum and coke waiting on the table for him. Yeah. And he's got Ballers League later on.
Yeah, man.
I said, do you fancy a bit of that? And he was like, nah, got a game later.
Invite back another time.
That is a
back
choice.
in, yeah.
That is the professionalism of Joleon Lescott, man. I'm telling you, man. It's still running in his blood till this day.
It's funny because we got there last week, we played this tournament. It's like ex-pros and that. And everyone's sitting around, and I get the mini bands out and started doing that.
Oh, no, you're not doing that.
But everyone's laughing. We get in through the halfway through the tournament, lads. On my back, on knees. I'm like, are you laughing at me in there?
Exactly.
But now I'm still fresh in that.
Look at me. I'm still going, mate.
I'm still doing bits. Yeah, man. You gotta warm up properly, man.
All right, so let's go through the results of the FA Cup. It's quarterfinals, the Emirates Cup, right? So, did you watch any of the games?
I watched Sunday's game. Saturday, my son was playing, so I was.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Who's your son playing for?
He plays for Preston.
Is
He
it?
plays for Preston. Yeah, his first game back for a while, so I went to watch that. They beat Bradford.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant, man.
Yeah, it's good.
So, do you go down there a lot?
Whenever, obviously, I've tried to get there all the time, but if I'm working, then you can't.
How does that feel to have a footballer son?
He's 17. It's
17.
mad
Oh,
because a few of the times this season he's played up like 21s and that. They play in the week.
Yeah,
so I've been working and that, so I've been missing the games and that. But on the Saturdays, I make sure I'm not working every weekend, so I can go. Like I'll be able to go this weekend. He's got a game.
I've got a
Shrewsbury.
footballer son as well.
Yeah.
It's so rewarding when you see them and they're doing bits, man, and you're thinking, and they're listening.
Yeah,
The thing about it, because you can have a footballer son, or wants to follow in your footsteps or whatever, but they have to be able to listen.
Oh, 100%.
It's the hardest thing to do.
My oldest son, he played. He made his debut for Blackpool, but just he didn't want to. Like I said, the professionalism of it that comes with then once you're at a level where your talent is not above that, then there comes the requirement of making the decisions and the choices, and he couldn't commit to that. So it's like, okay.
Have you always give them advice, and have they always taken it?
I don't. I try not to. I try to give them advice on certain things, but I would never risk my relationship with them.
No, that's the main thing.
So
I'm not interested in
my Parker. If I said something to me, he goes, shut up, stop talking to me.
Yeah.
Whereas Carter, the youngest son,
information.
he'd run up to me at half time and go, "What can I do better?"
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Different,
that.
innit? It's
like-
mad, innit? And as I said, I used to know they get in the car, they put the headphones on, they don't want to discuss it. So then we don't discuss it. But I used to be like, well, don't complain.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to hear what I'm going to say, don't complain about how you've performed, or if you're not doing everything you should.
It's one of them. If you want some advice, come to me.
Yeah.
So listen. So we'll just touch on a few of the quarterfinal games. Obviously the FA Cup. We had Fulham that was at home to Palace, right?
Good week for him, eh? Good week for
Fulham didn't even come close, did they? They didn't even touch the sides. They got beat 3-0 at home. That's not like a Fulham team that I've been watching this season. Eze, I heard he was running the things.
Yeah.
I didn't see it because I was travelling.
Mate, his goal was his joke.
Nice.
Yeah.
The keeper's getting nowhere near it.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
finish.
How did Fulham play
Set
and
up
how
the
did
second.
Palace play?
I only see bits.
Yeah, I only see
but
the
for
goals.
me, like, he was just brilliant. Like the goal. The
highlights.
keeper's never getting it, is he?
No.
Yeah.
But you can actually see what he's trying to do
You can
before he
see
does
what-
it,
yeah.
but you're like,
You know where it's going to go, but it's the curl on the ball. It started
Yeah.
outside the post and just ducked in and hit the post.
He's been on fire.
And
He
then-
obviously scored his first goal for
Yeah.
England as well.
And
So-
then
I think
when I
that's-
see him square the defender up, I'm just thinking,
You know what's happening after
trouble,
that?
mate. You're in
Yeah,
trouble. I've been
shake
there
and
many
bake.
times. You're in trouble.
Well,
that's the
he
thing,
done the
I think
same for
it's
England.
like a highlight of what confidence does.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we all know we've played on the confidence, and when you ain't got none, you probably
Yeah.
don't even try that, and then all of a sudden he scores for England, and then he's like, yeah,
Mad.
now we
Yeah.
dial it up.
Mad. And to be fair, I think you got quite lucky on that goal for England. But mate, it's one more goal than I ever scored for England. So I'll just take. I'll
you
take
missed
it.
an
That.
open goal, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
It was open, wasn't it? Didn't he
No,
clear off the
I
line?
told you. I told
You went
you,
round
like-
the keeper.
Yeah, and then
Does that say footage?
the geezer spawned from nowhere.
Spawned. This is Call of Duty.
Call it Fortnite. All right, so we're moving on to the Brighton game. Brighton v
Yeah, I
Forest.
see that.
A bit of a
Forest
nothing.
beat them on pens in the end.
Yeah.
Great season, man. Both of them teams having a great season, though, aren't they?
Let's
To be
talk
fair.
about
Yeah.
Forest, man.
Yeah, man.
Cool,
Mad.
blimey. The vibes down there in that camp there.
Yeah.
It looks proper. I think Coley went down there not so long
They
ago.
did, yeah. We did the
interview.
game, the City Forest game,
Yeah.
and yeah, they just that's probably the camaraderie there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
that's
off.
the perfect word for it.
Have you
Yeah.
ever had a team? Have you ever been involved in a team like that? You both.
Yeah,
This
our
question for
team,
both.
like when we City and that, it was
Was it like vibes? Like
mate.
that?
I swear to
Yeah.
God,
Seriously?
like
When you're a
Wha-
team and you're
Yeah, man.
you want it for each other.
Yeah, man, you want
Really,
each
you're
other
a-
to do well.
You're a family, aren't you, as a team? You've got to create that family feel where you just fight.
And the
for each other.
circumstances were different to the way Forest has been recruited, but the same things. Like we was all recruited for City, and everyone just said they're only going for the money. Like they don't really think they can win or want to win. It's like, no, we're trying to win stuff. So that was like an inside kind of thing, and that's like Forest.
Yeah,
Like
that's hard to get as well,
Yeah.
by the way. Like I know you can like just go and buy players, but you've got to get that.
But that's
Well,
the thing
I've
with
got it at
Forest, they've
Chelsea.
recruited on the same basis. So
Yeah.
a lot of their players weren't wanted at the teams they were
Yeah,
at.
yeah,
So
yeah.
now all of a sudden when you
It's like
come
a second chance for
and
them.
now you're loved and you're all
Yeah.
under the same circumstance.
The manager helps, so you've got to have
Yeah.
a good manager to do that. For
Good
the team
manager.
as
The
well.
owner's always in the tunnel.
I don't know, do you?
Huh?
We didn't have a good manager.
No,
Mancini
you
wasn't a good
didn't
manager.
actually. No, well, actually,
Are you not having
no,
Mancini,
wasn't.
no?
Nah, mate, he wasn't a good manager. He was-
Oh,
Tell
a
me
bit of
I'm
needle
glad,
in.
right, do you know why? Do you know what? I stopped mentioning him. Do you know why? Because I heard Mika say something about it, and I went, "Oh, do you know what? You're lying."
He loved
Oh,
Meeks
it's
though.
like-
He did love Meeks.
Meek.
They got on.
Come
they
on,
got
man.
on.
We used to do shadow play against mannequins.
Yeah.
You only had two options, and that was our football.
Yeah,
Really?
but we had good players.
You
Like,
can't.
so that
Look,
helps.
they went and won the league. They won the league because of the players. They
Yeah.
didn't
I don't
because of
see.
the
Look,
manager.
for me looking from the outside in, right, to seeing what you lot are talking about there, I'm thinking Mancini must have been a worldie. What a manager.
No, I think he was what we needed. I'm not going to disrespect him.
So
and
what
say he
was his style?
So
What-
obviously, Mark Hughes had assembled a lot of us, and we were just trying to outscore
Do you know,
teams.
yeah, do you know what the worst thing about that was? I felt like a letdown because
What to Mark Hughes?
there were 7 draws we had.
Yeah.
I think if we had nicked wins, mate, there's no chance he's getting sacked.
And the mad thing was, we had a game in hand, and I think if we won that game in hand, we would have been second.
Yeah.
So I think it was happening anyway. I don't think it was
Yeah.
down to the results, but we was outscoring teams or trying to outscore teams, and then we've come, and then it kind of went on its head. But we still had a bit of that element
Yeah.
to us, and then all of a sudden,
And then the player different.
we had
different
defenders that
players
wanted to
coming in.
defend.
Yeah.
Like
That's the thing.
Bridgie and Meeks could defend.
What is the state of English defending now?
Not English, just
Not
defending.
just defending in general across the
Yeah.
world.
It's not this
Because
defending.
I went to watch Como v Impoli, yeah, and I still think recruitment goes, and I think this is a general thing nowadays because everyone wants to play out from the back.
Yeah.
So I think recruitment goes, what's he like on the ball? Before, is
Bridgie-
he good at heading?
Oh,
Yeah, the
100%.
game's
good at-
just changed
Yeah, the
so
game's
much.
changed.
Is he good at reading the game?
But
You know what I mean?
what's mad is like you could be the
So-
best in possession. So
Yeah.
if you're good in the ball, you will get recruited. But what is not considered for me is the fact that if you're average in possession, but you're a good defender and you're having a solid game defensively, you will improve. Your confidence
yeah.
will allow you to improve.
with the
Yeah.
players around. you.
Yeah.
Especially, but if you're having a good game in possession, but you're not having a great game defensively, all of
Yeah.
a sudden you ain't as good.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
so the trait that you've brought him on, you've recruited him on, is irrelevant now because now that he can't do the things that he's going to be exposed to, which means the thing that you brought him for.
Yeah.
Which is why I think goalies, you're buying goalies that can distribute the ball, not great at saving, but then all of a sudden when he lets one in that he should have saved, his distribution, he doesn't want to play that pass. His confidence is gone.
Yeah.
So now he can't play that pass. So the bit that you've recruited him
A
on
little
is
bit
irrelevant.
like is it Nana?
Anana. Yeah.
Anana for
United.
Yeah. Like brilliant in possession. I remember the first game I watched Man United play with him in the team. He was on the halfway line. He was just getting the ball.
to no good.
It was like a what do you call it?
Quarterback.
A quarterback.
Yeah.
I was thinking, but he's brilliant at it. But then when he gets asked questions about going the other way, like you see,
But then it impacts that. Now he doesn't want to play
now
that
he's got no
pass.
confidence. Yeah.
It's mad. It's mad that
game's
recruitment.
just changed.
Yeah,
Game's
the
changed, but
Because mate, it's a softer game. It gets softer for all the years. I remember speaking to ex-pros when I was playing out that everyone's saying how soft it is, but there's more yellow cards.
Did you not see that? You must have seen that online then.
Yes, someone sent it.
So
There's one thing that stood out to me. There's more yellow cards, but it's a softer game.
So in 2006 and 2007, that season to last season, there was 25% less tackles.
Really?
Last season.
Yeah.
But 33% more yellow cards.
The
what's
game's gone, mate.
Yeah, it's
do you
mad.
think that's the okay? So you talk about that. Do you think that's the referee being too sensitive, or is VAR or VAR's bringing them back?
everything.
It's just
I think it's everything,
Football,
yeah.
Like, it's just changed so much.
When I look at like football, the way we talk about football's changed, and it has changed to some extent. And I was talking about this the other day. Would you, both of you, be able to play in this era? I've got my philosophy on this. Do you want to hear it?
Okay, go on.
All right. So
I mean, when he gets it, are we?
I don't think we've got a choice.
my philosophy on this scenario, right? I feel, look, we were trained to play in the era and coached to play in the era that we were in, but we were still footballers, athletes, whatever you want to call us, yeah? We could actually, because of our build or whatever we were, and the way we took on board information, we could translate that and being a footballer to this era and just be coached the same way that they're being coached now and still do a good job. Do you believe in what I'm saying there, or do you kind of disagree?
It'd be harder. No, I believe. I'm not saying. I'm not saying we could all play. I'm not saying we could all play, but I believe I could play now easier because I'm given more information. Like the amount of time
because of the players, right? 'Cause for me, I'm like, if I was playing now and Shaun Wright-Phillips was playing and Aaron Lennon and they're getting at me, I could be sent off within God knows what.
Because of the rules.
The yellow cards just come out too quick.
But on the flip side of that, you're considering it in the tactics that you had to deem them that. So now, especially for defenders, stand there when we've got the ball, which means if we lose it, I can't get back. So now it's not my fault. And coaches are taking that responsibility away from defenders. We wasn't told that. We was told, this is what I want you to do. If you get it wrong, even though I've told you to do it, you're out of the team. So you had to figure it out differently. We was told just like a basic.
Yeah.
You wasn't told every pass you had to make,
No,
every
no.
scenario, where to stand.
You had freedom. You had freedom.
Yeah, but you also had to figure it out.
Yeah.
There wasn't every data stat that covered every
Well,
player.
that is the
So, like,
thing.
when we started playing, probably different. I know you're a little bit younger than us, Cole. Like, you didn't see every opponent you played.
No.
You got there and you was like, who is he? Number 7.
Yeah.
Okay, it's number 7. He's right-footed.
That's it. That was your basic.
Figure it out. So go out there.
Figure it out.
Within 10 minutes, figure out what he can do and what he can't
Mate,
do. Now,
it's running you.
so imagine now you're being told, you don't even know if he was quick. You didn't even know. Now I've
Yeah.
got top speeds.
Yeah,
Now I
they
know
are.
how fast he is. So now I know I can't get that tight because he's going to run me. So
Yeah, over
You
front.
never used to really study the game
All we-
until late when all clips started coming out.
that's what I'm saying. You couldn't.
I remember the manager going to me, "Yeah, you know what he's like," and I'm thinking, "So you obviously don't know me. I don't watch much football."
That's what I'm saying. So I think if you
the detail into it now.
now if
it's
you're
what
given
information
you're,
you're
you're
given,
definitely given more information.
Yeah.
So
That would help you though.
Yeah.
That would help you get
Oh, yeah.
to play in this era. That's what I'm trying to say.
that's what I believe. I just
That's a good.
yeah.
That's a good analogy. Because like for me, when I look at it, I think we can. We'll suss it out. Like because we're footballers at the end of the day, athletes, and we could do it. So it was just my intake on the information given to me. How well do I take on board the information given to me, and how well do I execute it? That's it.
I'll bring him up again, but don't have a go at me. Glenn Hoddle, right? I would have loved to see what he would do now. against the way the teams play, where they play out from the back. I'd love to just see what he would do.
That's a good question for him when we get him on.
Yeah.
I think he wouldn't stand out as much now because everyone's trying to do the same things. I think about 10 years ago, that's when you would have seen a difference because there wasn't many doing it. Yeah. And Glenn could coach players that probably didn't have the capability to perform.
I'll tell you,
which I think every coach is now just coaching a system.
Yeah.
And whether your players can do it or not, it's irrelevant. It's like, well, I want him to play this way. Well, he can't do it.
Yeah.
If he could do it, he wouldn't be
that's
the team that you're at.
Another manager's up there for me. Gus Poyet, I had him at Brighton, mate.
Yeah.
And he had players which they had brought through. A lot of them come through the leagues with him.
Yeah.
Mate, he was so good at getting players to believe in themselves and play well, but he was just good at it. Like that reminds me, Glenn. He was good as well, mate. Gus Poyet is another one I haven't mentioned before. He was really good.
All right. Let's do the other half of the quarterfinals. So Preston, obviously your son's team were playing Villa.
Yeah,
your ex-team.
Yeah. Nah, to be fair, I watched that game.
Buzzing for Rashford. I'm so happy for him, mate.
So let's talk about Rashi. Yeah. Let's talk about Rashi. He's come into some scrutiny, hasn't he? Obviously, the Man United thing. Is it Man United or is it
Man United? It's Man United. It's both. It's not one. It's never one thing or one component to success or failure, but definitely
something.
It's more United in regards to the team that he was in. Like Aston Villa is a way better team than Man United. Like
that's interesting you say that.
Like they don't. You got to think. Man United had Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho up front. So them three up front, there was Marcus, Rasmus and Garnacho. Who's the best? Marcus.
Yeah.
So the opposition, we have to consider him.
Yeah.
We have to consider him. Bruno is affected the games and all that, but if we stop Rashford, because he needs someone else, then we stop Bruno.
Yeah.
He goes to Villa, they got Ali Watkins, they got Morgan Rogers, they got Asensio. Like now you can't just stop him. So now there's more freedom and there's more space and there's more opportunities and like Rashford could, in my opinion, he's elite, so he might be the icing or the cherry on a cake. If you've got no cake,
yeah.
Like, there's no cake.
He's good, isn't he?
Yeah, that's brilliant. I love that. There's no base.
There's no base.
There's no flour. There's no flour to even start.
No one wants to eat icing. No one's eating icing, bro. You know, you get sick. You get sick of eating icing. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you've got a cake and then you put a Marcus Rashford in there, he's gonna taste great. He's gonna look good.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, environment, is the most important thing for a footballer nowadays, because I just feel anyway, the footballers that we nurture now are probably a little bit, is it weak-minded, or would I say they haven't got the...
Sensitive.
Yeah, they're sensitive because the era they've grown up in, their social media. Listen, when we used to get battered by a manager, right? And then we'd go, do you know what? Instead of sulking, we'll go, no, I'll show you. You can't batter me like that. You're not getting away with it. I think if you was to do that to a player now, you got to kind of take into consideration about, okay, he might go home and sulk. You'll lose him. Fact. And you don't want that. And I think Rashford comes under that banner. He needs an arm around him. Most players need arms around them. Right?
Yeah, but you also...
Yeah, not all. We also didn't... Like, when we spoke about it before, we don't know that situation. We only know what we think. What's being said in the press, what he says in the press. True. But we all know he's got more than enough talent to be one of the best in the Premier League and play for England.
100%.
We all know that.
I just think with any player that you have to build a relationship in order then to critique someone. And I think the manager went in there knowing he's got authority and critiqued someone you haven't built that base on. So I don't know where that's coming from. If you coming in and
that's an interesting way of looking at it.
If I build up a relationship with you and I know I'm saying that's not good enough, where it's coming from.
It's coming from.
I don't know you. Like you don't know.
There's no needle in it. I'm not prejudged you. I know you.
Yeah, I know you. And so you know me. You know this is honest.
And that's actually interesting because a lot of players, like obviously because there's so much turnover from managers nowadays. There's so many managers. Managers don't really get 2 years anymore. Do you know what I mean? So how are you supposed to build that bond with a player when the player's there for 5-6 years? Manager comes in, he might be out the door within 18 months.
100%.
And then you're trying to get the best out of that player. How does that work? So the manager now has to adapt.
It doesn't have to be you though. Like, so when we did the loans and stuff at City,
Yeah.
we was focusing on building relationships, and these were like kids. It doesn't have to be me and you. It has to be the person you're closest to. If I can gain his respect or their respect or her respect, then you know what it's like. Say you're close, like let's say JD. JD's closest to his mum.
Yeah.
So if I bond with her, then she says you got to listen to him. So that it doesn't have to be directly to the person. It just
Manager Lescott, you know. I'm not
just has to be
This is what
someone
it-
that they respect. You know what I mean?
That is, see what I'm saying? This is the quality we're bringing on this pod now. This is like deep thinking because.
But it's
like,
not that deep though, is it? It's just obvious. You know what I mean? It's not okay, when your kids are at school and the teacher shouts to them, they would call you and say, "This is what's going on," and then you would have to then relay that message.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you say it's simple. Yeah, you see it simple, but a person don't because they don't know about all of that. You're simplifying it. As I said, when you talk about when you're in the punditry, you're doing the punditry. You simplify it just like that. It seems obvious. And until you say it, it is obvious.
Yeah.
But a lot of people complicate it.
Yeah,
And that is the big problem that managers need to get their head around. Who's his best friend? Or who's that?
Who's
Go
the
and
most
find
influential person in his life?
Try and get the best out of him.
So now I've got time, and it might not be me, it might be my coach, or it might be someone else that can relate to them. And as I said, I think it was Alan Kirbishley was one of the first person I ever heard do something like that. I was at a convention, and he was talking about he used to, like, this was before social media, look at like films or what was on the night before games, or if you knew there was like going to spend time away with players, and just figure out what they might have watched. And just sit down and say, "Oh, did you watch so-and-so last night?" It was like something that you could
that's
relate to.
straight away, boom, got him.
And now it's a
And you have a
common
little
denominator.
That's brilliant.
It's crazy.
That's brilliant. Now, yeah, so that's Rashford. He's back on form. Lovely to see.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully he could go on.
And win the Champions League?
You never know.
You never know. You never know.
And I know, like, Villa's your team, you know, and I'd like to see them in that scenario. You know, how was your time at Villa actually? Like,
Tough, man.
Was it tough at that time?
Yeah,
that when you bonded with Mika?
Nah, Meeks. Well, I was friends with Meeks before I went to City. Like
Okay.
we got into the England squad at the same time, so it was kind of like that's how we bonded, me and Meeks. But yeah, going to Villa was tough because we didn't do well. We got relegated, and like that was my team growing up. So to be a part of arguably their worst team, in the Premier League era,
must
was
have been
like,
hard for you.
It's not going to talk about relegation.
Nah, it's not. It's not. But it's listen. It's
is
part
what
of
it is.
it's part of
It's
it.
horrible, isn't it?
Because growing up, that was the goal. The goal wasn't to win Premier League. The goal was to play for Aston Villa
Yeah,
and to wear an Aston Villa kit
yeah.
and to play for England. They were the only two things that were
That's
thought were
unbelievable.
realistic.
And you done it.
Yeah,
you done it.
yeah.
But
it's
obviously,
still-
it wasn't the
It wasn't as
painted
glamorous
picture.
as I see as a
We've
kid.
both been relegated, mate. Don't
Yeah,
worry
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
No, but it's just
That
it's
is
not that
horrible.
though. It's just like when you get relegated, your team.
Your
Yeah,
team,
it's
yeah.
it's totally different ball game. That's your team,
yeah,
man.
man, it's
And
my team.
and then
I
people are
think it's
judging
still
you.
horrible anyway. I think it's horrible no matter what.
Yeah.
But it's needed. Like we don't want to become like MLS franchises.
Well, yeah, that's another story. But we'll talk about that later on. Bournemouth, another American owned.
Yeah, American owned.
American owned, and Man City, your ex team. Obviously, Man City come up trumps in that game, 2-1. Listen, what is going on with Man City at the moment? Well, from your eyes and your perspective, both of you play for the club, and look, we can always say it's this, is that. I looked at something that Pep said. I think it was today even. He said he had an article saying that they're missing that bond, that desire, and I kind of sympathize with him because when you're winning every year, how do you galvanize the team to go again at the start of the season, go again and go again?
Yeah.
You've won Champions League, you've won FA Cup, League Cup, everything there is to win, and then you get to this point now where I've got to try and get the buy-in from the players again because now where's the desire gone?
Players get tired, man. Like it's just
Players get tired, players move, and mate, football
it's hard, man.
football
It's,
changes.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
you're
no one
never
thing.
going to stay at the top for the whole time.
You can't, and they've done
It's not
something
gonna
that no
happen.
one's done. So
yeah, exactly.
for them to not do it,
mate, Man City fans are buzzing.
yeah.
So it's not a
Look what
crisis
they've
down
been-
there.
Christ, it can't be.
No,
And even if
man.
it is, they've
They're
still
allowed.
achieved something that no
Yeah.
one's
And they
achieved in the
can
history
still
of the
come
game.
back.
Yeah, you're right.
In the history of
It's not
football.
that easy to just stay at the top the whole time. Look at Man United now. Look at Chelsea now.
I
It
definitely don't
changes.
feel they get enough credit for
what they did.
No way.
No.
Because there's, like, you can have money and spend money badly.
Yeah,
We've
that's true.
seen teams
Recruitment,
spend money, a lot more money, worse than, say, what that was spent and how they like maintain
Yeah,
that
yeah,
level
seen it
and
firsthand,
consistency. So, yeah, they're definitely not. I think they're unfairly judged because it was just expected them to do what they've done. But nah, man, it's
It'd
mad.
be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what they do next year, just to see what happens. Just to see if
Are
he
they
can
under pressure to win something, or can
yeah,
they have another
yeah.
gap here?
Every team's under pressure to do well.
100%.
I feel.
Yeah, 100%. And they should be because they're elite, man. They're top, so they should be under pressure. But it shouldn't be like life-threatening pressure, like job-threatening. It's like, well, you are recruited to win for Man City. It's not. We're not just trying to compete. We're trying to win. So
And look, so they're back on form. The young lad O'Reilly came on.
Nico,
Nico O'Reilly came on and made a difference.
massive difference. Massive difference.
Have you worked with him?
No, I know him.
Yeah.
I haven't worked with him. He was, when I was there, he was a lot younger. So I think he's only 19, 20 now. I don't think he's old. So
he's young.
yeah, but
Full of confidence.
Yeah,
He looks like when he's on the ball. He's full of confidence.
and we haven't seen the super talent yet. Like he's a number 10 or midfielder.
So
yeah.
he's a proper 10.
Yeah, I think Pep was talking about him in
And
pre-season
he-
about
what
being a
did he play?
replacement for
Goal.
Rodri. Like Rodri,
What?
kind of, he can play that role as well. He can.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he's a footballer.
The way he
Okay,
burst
yeah.
forward and the ball for the goal.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's the bit that's probably surprised me more because I didn't know he was like that
Dynamic
because-
like that.
Yeah, because I didn't know he wasn't like that, but he's never had to show that because he's played in the academy where they've always dominated, so he's never had to make marauding runs like that. But yeah, that element of it
It's
is
funny because like obviously he played left back.
Yeah.
And he's doing that, and you're saying I've never seen him in that capacity before.
no,
But
having to do that.
having to do that, yeah. So, like, let's go back to your debut and your debut, Bridgie. Would you play that a position? And because you know what it's like when you go, you just want to play in it. It's like
yeah.
you
And
want to
you
make
will
your
play anywhere,
debut.
yeah.
You fit in anywhere. Polyfiller. I always call that guy polyfiller. Yeah, you don't want to be known for being that person, but if you're gonna get a game, you're gonna make your debut, and it's not gonna be perfect, is it? So you just take any position, wouldn't you? And where did you make your debut? Or what position?
I was left wing, but
Yeah.
I came on after 6 minutes, went left wing.
You was
but
a
that
winger,
my
tricky winger,
position.
yeah?
Yeah, I was quick. I was all right, mate. I was quick, and
Yeah.
I
You was quick, man.
it went all right, mate. It went well. I actually had a chance. It was against Liverpool, and
That was your first
I
game?
should have made it all square. Went clean through and skied it over the bar. Oh. I just never had that calmness
That's
at
different,
a
innit?
young age of getting clean through and going being calm.
Okay.
Unless you play for
Brad,
Chelsea,
yeah.
the Champions League quarter
Yeah.
final.
All that, yeah.
But like at that young age.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started off there and I actually played number 10 that season. It might have been season after because I was in and out of the
You
team.
played number 10?
Played number
No
10.
way.
Dave Jones. He
You didn't
put
play
me
number 10. I'm not having
put me
that.
centre forward. No, but lie, right? I played one game in midfield. And I don't know, it's the local paper. They went because Matt Letizia and Ginola was playing. It was like a mix and David Ginola, Matt Letizia all rolled into one.
No way.
Wow.
then it all
Wow.
went downhill from there.
And he doesn't remember it. You know what I mean? He don't remember it. Did he clip it off? Did he clip it off?
Matt Letizia all rolled into one.
I did play
David
well,
Letizia.
Oh,
Mate,
David Letizia.
but it was
Matthew
like-
Ginola.
I was-
Oh, Matthew Granola.
That's a great nickname, sir. I never had that
Mate.
calmness in front of goal. But
Yeah.
and I played striker against West Ham, actually.
Striker is what,
Yeah.
mate.
I played
It was,
striker. I played
it was
striker.
centre
I'm not
back,
having
and there was
this.
Pierce. Pierce was centre back. Oh, who else? You remember
Striker?
Piercey? And mate, I should have had 2 penalties against West Ham, but I never had that killer instinct.
Yeah.
And that's why they shoved me at the back, basically.
Yeah, nah.
Sounds more like it,
My,
doesn't
my
it?
you,
story ain't like
Geese?
that. My
What
story ain't
about
like
you?
that. I played in all
Let's hear
positions.
you.
I
Let's
played in
hear
all
you.
positions, but I was like
Then
lucky
what
enough.
position? Don't be afraid.
Yeah, right. I played left back. I played left back.
You got
That's
left back.
about it. And I played up front for,
Go on.
for Everton.
Yeah.
We had no
Played up
striker.
front?
Yeah, we had no striker, man. So I was like, and I
I
wasn't just
remember
sent up for like,
this.
I wasn't just up there for like a minute. I was
Yeah.
up there, like we made changes. So the gaffer's gone like,
Who was the gaffer?
David Moyes.
Moisey?
Like we had, it was remember we played a whole season or half a season with like Fellaini and Tim Cahill. and then one of them got injured, so we played one striker, and then he's like, if we need to change it, we're going to bring on Bainesy, and then I was up front. I remember he was up front against Fulham. I'm trying to make channel runs and that. I'm not a target man.
How many games?
I wasn't a target man.
How many games did you play up front?
I think I played 2. I didn't start any games. No.
Didn't go 2 well.
No. I didn't start up there. When we made changes, I went up there. But no, that season I scored 10 goals, man.
Did you affect the game?
Yeah.
Did you affect the game?
You used to score a lot for Everton.
I scored goals, man.
You
I
did.
scored goals.
But
How many goals did you get for Everton?
17. For over the 3 seasons, but I scored 10 in 1.
Is it?
But that's now.
What?
That's 100 mil.
10 in 1.
10 seasons. That's 100 mil.
One
right
season,
now.
you
As a
scored 10
fullback.
goals.
Goal involvement. And I got a few assists.
Oh, next piece.
I think you scored 10 in my career, mate.
Yeah, man, I got 10 in 1 season.
What?
Yeah, man.
That was more than me. Listen, man, let's get into some football. This week's football. Yeah. Bit of got your old team here. You played in enough of these derbies.
Merseyside derby.
The Merseyside derby. Liverpool v Everton.
Spicy.
Let's talk about you in those derbies, because it's a spicy derby, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've always admired those type of derbies, because it's one of them ones where you just look at it and you don't know how it feels until you're in it or you're in the stadium.
100%. Unless you're there, you don't really know.
No, you can't get that feel for it on the TV.
Well, I think the last derby at Goodison, because it was the last one at Goodison, I think that was probably the closest we've seen to any derby. I think like the ref let it go a bit, and it was nice.
Tarkowski got the goal last minute. Lovely.
But my first derby, we won 3-0 at Goodison. But that was the first time I'd been to a game at any derby and seen the fans sit together.
What?
Yeah, the fans were mixed. Like the derby back then, I don't know if it's still the case now, but like so obviously a husband and wife or children, like you got 2 kids, they could be so they wasn't like and I was looking in the crowd, I'm seeing red, I'm like, what's going on here? But like it was calm. It wasn't like an aggressive thing, but I think over the time and then it changed a little bit. But I don't think that happens now.
What's it like before the game? Because for me,
build
obviously
up.
at Chelsea, the derbies you played in, but for me, the biggest one I noticed when I went to Sunderland on loan, Sunderland and Newcastle, it was the atmosphere before the game. It was crazy.
I think the impact on the atmosphere is depending on how frequent the derby is. I did a Wolves West Brom one, FA Cup last year, just like TV working, and it hadn't happened for 10 years.
Really?
We had to stop because they're not in the same league or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
So you'd think it was so aggressive. Like you had to stop for 7 minutes because there was crowd trouble. I'm thinking, what's going on here? It was so violent. But you forget when it's not happened.
Was that at Wolves?
No, it was at the Hawthorns. But when it hasn't happened, obviously, then it has a different emotion attached to it. So
that's like
it's mad.
That's crazy because, like, when you think about these derbies, like, look, I always look at the Old Firm, Firm derby, and I went up to obviously play up at Celtic. And I didn't get to play that in that derby.
I bet that's different.
No, because they were Rangers. Rangers were
relegated.
Rangers were relegated at the time.
Oh yeah.
So
that was wild.
I didn't get to see it.
I played in the Masters up there.
Yeah.
That was bad.
I done the Masters up there too.
So I can imagine what the Old Firm.
Actually, I done the Masters. I played for Celtic. I scored against Rangers. So I done my job.
Yeah.
I went to
load you
my
for that.
career.
Yeah, but they still load you for that.
If I scored again, I'd be hiding.
I went to watch Kevin Muscat when he left Wolves. We went to his first Old Firm. Yeah, that's the most aggressive.
It's aggressive.
Oh my God, I didn't feel right in the crowd. Yeah, man, in the crowd, man, that weren't comfortable.
Man, there's so much needle in it.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
Spicy. It's a park so far away, and it was mad.
How do you think we're going to go with this Liverpool v Everton game? Would you think, because it's one of them ones where you just don't know, because
I think if it was
couldn't call the last game.
I think the break come at a good time for Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think the week they had before.
Yeah.
So now it's a regroup and refocus.
Yeah.
I think Everton needed it for the sake of Liverpool. They needed it.
They'll have that feeling, Liverpool. Like,
I don't want to get their own back.
Do them now.
They didn't win the game. Remember, Everton didn't win the game. We drew it.
Yeah, but they just needed not to lose at Goodison, the last one. It's like the first one at the new stadium.
Yeah.
You don't need to win. Just don't lose. Just don't lose it, man. Yeah, you know what I mean.
When you say it like that,
for Evertonians, like for it not to be an Evertonian to score the last goal.
Yeah,
at Goodison. Yeah, that would have been sickening. So yeah.
Oh mate, you're right. There. The next game up this week, Brighton v Villa.
Oh, good game.
That is
good footballing game.
They're going for top because the top
Brighton.
4. They both they're there and around it. There's like two points different from 7th to
no. I know. It's
mad.
really tight.
And then
even
from 10th is only like 4 or 5 points.
And it's going to be top 5 this year.
Yeah.
Champions League.
Yeah,
So,
it's
yeah,
top
it's
5
mad.
this year.
I think it's highly likely
it's highly
due to
likely,
all the teams doing well. But yeah, it's mad.
So obviously,
I don't know who wins that.
don't know, man. Like, very, very good young manager, Brighton manager. Unbelievable that he's.
They need some
you
credit.
think he's gonna last though? Like,
I think
being that young.
Yeah, I think he'll last. It's whether someone comes and gets him, like the previous 2 managers. Do you know what I mean? Like whatever they're doing something well, and they're recruiting and recognizing the transition. They're transitioning very well, seamlessly.
That's interesting. Like I see it. I think
he's always. I was there near the end of my career, and Tony Bloom. They very much go on stats.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%.
It's like the Moneyball thing.
And they've done really well because we probably should have. Well, we were in the playoffs, but we didn't. We underperformed against Palace.
About to say you played Palace there.
Yeah,
Zaha.
That's a derby.
Yeah, I remember.
It was the home game. We threw it away. We should have beat them on the away game, but we threw it away. But they're very, very smart man. Recruited so well. Like
100%.
Well, and they're still doing well.
Well, they made 100 million out of Casado straight like that.
But no disrespect to the players, I think it's easier to do it when you're operating it in that realm. I don't think you can do that and win the league.
No.
Because now you got to pick and you compete with players that everyone can see.
Yeah, I get what
everyone can see all them, like
where they are.
You can get a gem. And it can work, but there's no one unknown.
Yeah,
in the top teams, is there?
No, everyone. Yeah,
we know you.
Yeah,
I've seen you
know
before.
What you're about.
Yeah, I've seen Mbappe. I know what he can do.
That's a totally different ball game. All right, Chelsea v Spurs.
Oh,
that's a big derby,
it's a big one.
Yeah,
the Chelsea Spurs game is
that Chelsea's biggest?
Is that Chelsea?
There's always a
Arsenal's a big one.
Tottenham as well. Tottenham. I always
Chelsea,
thought Liverpool.
Liverpool.
We hate. When I was there, we wanted to win, mate. Yeah, Tottenham.
That's the one I hear Chelsea talk about the most.
Yeah, I'd say so. When I was there, I think so. You definitely didn't want to lose to Tottenham.
What would Coley say right now?
Oh, he hates
3 points laid.
Yeah, 3 points laid. Do you know what they better do? Because to stay there. Is it like they should get it? In my opinion, they should get it.
Chelsea are home obviously in this game. So
you got Newcastle with a game in hand.
Yeah.
They go above them, and then it's so tight. That's a must-win.
I think
game
Cole's
for
back
them.
now. I think Cole's fit again.
Yeah.
He can be a game changer.
Yeah, he could be the catalyst for them because he's a top talent in it. Like when I think. Are Man City regretting that decision, letting him go now? No. They've got so many players. And
like they never regret anyone. And he wouldn't have been able to produce that.
Yeah,
he would have broke in because he wouldn't have been
week in, week out.
And he wouldn't have been a 10. He would have been a winger for Man City. He wouldn't it's the same as Phil. When Phil first come through and people saying he's got to play, he's like, why? David Silva's playing. Like Kevin De Bruyne was playing. Cole Palmer's not going to play. Do you know what I mean?
He's probably one of my favourite players in that England setup because I feel like when I look at him, I feel like he's the only one who plays like he's still playing on the park.
Oh, yeah.
And like he has no care and he just plays.
That's his style. He has a fearless thing that I don't know if you can create that in players.
You just got to have that up there.
Nonchalant.
That's why for me that's one of the most important things.
Well, let's look at the Spurs team. Let's look at the Spurs team. Like for me, what's going on down there? Because like we look at it, right?
They've had so much airtime on this podcast.
So Ange is over there. Obviously, is he gonna last? Is he? You know what I mean? Like this is a big game. This is a big game, because this can give you 5 games at least to like.
No,
security.
I don't. I still believe they
I still think he's there next season.
Depends how they do in Europe.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think if they go out.
Well, who do they get in then?
That's
a
different thing. That's a different question.
I just feel like if he's lasted this long,
nah,
why let him get
They get the Brighton manager in. That's what they're gonna get.
Because I feel
Maybe.
Levy might have learnt from when Mourinho, like he was close to winning something. Mourinho in the final,
Oh, come on.
you got a chance.
Yeah, that was.
I don't care who you're
mad.
playing.
I
You got
can't
a chance.
believe
So
he done that.
I think he might be thinking, do I disrupt it now? And he's doing well in Europe, ain't he? They're doing well in Europe.
Yeah.
So it's
It is an
silverware.
interesting thing
Yeah,
that he's got. He has to come up trumps, because I think even the last game.
I think he leaves. I think they part ways
Yeah.
in the summer,
Yeah,
regardless.
I
though.
think you can't deal with that stress no
I
more.
don't. I just think both of them. Like,
You know what? It looked like to me, because he was saying some things in the media that was making me think, does he want to get sacked or something? Like the way he was. The
It's
way
new
he
for him
was
though, innit? It's new for him.
wording the words. Were,
Yeah, but
like,
I think he says how it is sometimes.
Yeah,
But that's
and he
like-
was fine when you're winning,
yeah,
and it's
Yeah.
refreshing. But when it's the first time he's ever experienced what he's experiencing,
mate.
them answers aren't as enjoyable. all them questions aren't as
Yeah,
enjoyable.
to be fair, the other week we see he needs a night out with us.
He does
You
need
feel
to
like
wind
he
down a
needs
bit,
night
doesn't he?
out.
He looks stressed, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. But yeah, so those are like the three main games, and I'm thinking, I'm just gonna go say it now. I'm going Liverpool win, yeah, against Everton. I'm going Villa win against Brighton. I know they're away. I know. But I'm going Chelsea win over Spurs because they're at home.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's just the way it is for me.
I don't know, but yeah, I think Liverpool. I don't know about Brighton. I don't know. I'll
No?
say draw. I'll say
say the
draw,
draw, yeah?
and then I'll say Chelsea.
Okay, because I'm thinking Villa, especially off the back of the game the other day. I'm thinking definitely they're
Yeah, but
they're
got,
purring.
They're
They're purring.
But they might have to just rest a few because they got Champions League, man. Next week.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
PSG.
true.
It's PSG next week. So, yeah, some of me might like. And
By the way, are you gonna rest? Doesn't matter if you
Not
rest
rest.
anyone. Like, I don't think you need to rest anyone, but they need to think about the
they
next
might need.
game.
They definitely need to consider. 'Cause
that's
some of
a
the positions, I
massive
don't think they got replacement in every position.
Are you gonna be at that game? You gonna be?
Nah, I'm watching it though. 100%
Oh,
watching
mate,
it.
do you know what? That's going to be an interesting game.
They're a good team, man. PSG. I've seen them a few
PSG
times.
are
They're
purring at the
excited.
moment.
They're the
They're
best. They're the best they've
excited,
been
aren't
for
they?
years. Them
Do you know
Best
Joe
team.
picked him out
I know he did.
before the game? He was getting battered.
before Liverpool.
Yeah,
I know.
it's
I heard it. I was
getting
like, Joe, yeah, and I was like, okay. I had to
Yeah.
give him some props. We did
Yeah.
a show the other week, and I was like, to be fair, Joe, you're the first person I heard.
Yeah, you're the only
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
All right, listen, let's move on, right? Because whilst I was away, I saw this, right? I couldn't believe my eyes. Yeah? Couldn't believe it. The Toons, yeah? The Toon Army had something to cheer about for once, right? Get to the final. They beat the big dogs in the final, and they actually get to lift the trophy for the first time, I think, in 70 years.
That's a lot.
Like, really and truly, like, for me, Newcastle, because I've always admired Newcastle and their fan base and the players that they've had. I thought they'd won loads of stuff, but they obviously ain't. And I'm thinking, this is the first time. How many people were there? 300,000?
It's a lot.
300,000 people turned up for the parade, you know? And I know, yeah, it's only League Cup.
Nah.
But wait. People try to pee on my parade, yeah? A lot of people,
We're in a group
when West
chat.
Ham lift up
conference.
the Conference League, yeah? And I had the privilege to, like, obviously, me and Joe had the privilege to do the the BT Sport coverage. And for me, my proper first season doing punditry on TV, I'm getting to go to a final.
Yeah, man.
That's what dreams are made of, right?
100%.
I remember, and then after we came and saw you guys over in
Istanbul.
Istanbul. It was unbelievable, man. So I just love to see what Newcastle do you know what it is? Newcastle, the fans, they appreciate it. They've actually revived the love for that League Cup, and I'll say kudos to them. What do you think about the game?
I'm here for it.
Did you watch the game?
Oh, mate, I'm buzzing.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't like appearing in your parade. I'm like, you've won something, mate.
Yeah.
It's jealousy. You ain't won it.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people poo on people's like parade and say they poo-poo it and say, listen, that's only a League Cup,
Nah, man.
but
Mate,
bro,
you'd all take it.
silverware.
Every
medals.
team would take it.
Every year, I'll take it every year. I'll like.
It's great to see that enjoyment, that many
Yeah, man.
people out. That's what football's all about.
Yeah.
And when you look at, like, you saw the celebrations, and I'm seeing Isaac
Sick.
trying to speak Toon. Like, it was so funny, but it's brilliant. That's what you want to
Yeah,
see.
man.
You want to see
Yeah.
characters. And man, good luck to them. So well done, Newcastle, on your feats and your everything that you've done for the club. Like, Isaac, is he gonna last there? Is he gonna stay? Because he's such a baller.
Do
you know what I mean? Like
There's only a few teams that can afford it.
Yeah.
Like there's not many teams that can afford it.
Arsenal.
No.
No, Harry
Arsenal-
Kane's going Arsenal.
I've just heard.
Arsenal,
I've just heard Arsenal got a massive kitty for the
It
summer.
doesn't matter.
No,
Like
I've heard they've
Arsenal,
got-
he ain't going to Arsenal.
no.
That would
Where's
be
he
surprised.
Would he go
like,
abroad?
I think Liverpool
They're-
coming.
Liverpool,
I
you
think
reckon? Yeah.
I think Liverpool come for him. If I was Liverpool, I would try and sign him.
That's a big shot.
They need someone that's going to share that load, man. Like Salah isn't going to score 30 goals every season. Like, there's going to be a time when you need someone to just take a little 15.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
Need someone
take
to
a look
share
at-
that.
Yeah, you're
A
right.
little 15.
You're
little,
right,
little
because-
20 piece.
Yeah. But Salah there at the end of the season? I don't think so.
You think he goes?
I think he goes. I think Salah leaves. So yeah, you're right. I think they're gonna need an Isak.
I don't know if he. I don't know, man.
That's
Too
another
hard.
one.
I think
like-
it's too hard to call.
What would you do if you? What do you laugh at it? What do you think?
If I was him,
No, not him. If you just a betting man, you're gonna say this is.
he goes, man.
I
He
don't
goes.
know.
Trent.
I don't like.
The
it's
for
that
me-
Saudi money, mate.
The thing for
It's
me,
Saudi money, but it's
Nah, that
yeah,
not even
mate.
Saudi money. It's different money. That you're
Squidgy.
saying you're giving him the Neymar contract. It's like 800 million.
come on,
Yeah.
man. You're taking it. You gotta go. Like you'll be silly not to. Like I'd frown upon you if you didn't take it. You know. And I think, look,
800 million's a lot.
it's a lot
Hey,
of
look,
that.
bro.
It's under a billy, man.
there's no
It's
one.
under a
To be
billy.
fair, do you remember when that it all started and Southgate was talking about? I think he did it Talksport, and they said, "Listen, everyone can say they wouldn't do it. No one can say they wouldn't do it until you're offered
Until
that
you put
money.
in it. No,
until
no
you
chance.
see that contract and you'll
Exactly.
say there's 800 million tax free.
I tell you what, if he stays though, Liverpool fans are gonna absolutely.
Oh, he's lauded.
Mate,
He's
Oh,
lauded.
yeah.
He goes
He's
down
lauded
as
already.
No,
Yeah.
but more so.
even more though.
He
mate.
could be like Stevie.
Do you reckon?
Yeah,
You
mate,
reckon that category?
massively.
Yeah. I think
Massively.
yeah, I think they see that if he does that, he's on par with Stevie and maybe like the
Yeah.
players before that. I
Maybe,
don't really
yeah,
know
you're
the
right.
levels like Dalglish and them.
Yeah, Dalglish, yeah.
Them guys,
Ian Rush,
them guys, mate.
yeah, different.
He's going to be seen different.
Yeah, so like obviously you got that, but the thing about me, so let's go back to Liverpool. When I look at Liverpool now, I think Salah goes. I think obviously we already know about Trent. Trent's gone. The most important cog in that wheel over there
You
is
think
Van
Van
Dijk.
Dijk?
It's Van Dijk. Don't you think? You're not having that shot. Van Dijk stays though.
No, listen, I think it's important that he stays. But if they don't have Van Dijk or they don't have Salah this season,
Oh yeah, of course.
there you go.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So it can't be Van Dijk.
No,
If you take one of them players out for the whole season,
no, Van Dijk stays for
yeah,
me.
but just say you took out Van Dijk now,
yeah.
you took him out.
That would.
but you kept Salah. You're still winning games. They're not scoring.
Yeah,
no
yeah,
one
yeah.
in their team is scoring.
Yeah,
20 goals.
you're stopping goals go in. So yeah, you've got a chance to win the game. Yeah, but Van Dijk's I think is the most important.
Why don't?
You don't.
Because Salah it guarantees you 20 goals.
I think you could get an Isak, as you just said. He can come in 20 goals. Man.
Isak ain't a Salah.
Nah,
No, he's not.
no, I'm not saying that.
He
he's
might be
not,
a Salah
but
with. He might be with Salah.
Yeah, but he ain't a.
Yeah,
No, but I
No
think
one
he
just
gets you
comes and
20
just
goals.
wears
I
a cape.
I think he gets you 20 goals.
I'm not saying he doesn't, but
I
if
think he
listen,
gets
if they
20 goals.
sell, but they're not selling Salah, are they? If they don't
They're
keep
not selling
Salah
him.
and
I
keep,
think he does get you goals, but you're
Yeah.
slotting into a team which then doesn't have Trent and Salah.
I'm just saying. I think they lose too. I think Salah goes, and I think Trent. Obviously, Trent.
if they can get Isak
Dijk's-
and keep
Van
Van
Dijk's
Dijk,
like, yeah.
then yeah,
Then it's all right.
You've
Then
done
they're
all right.
back.
You've done all right.
Okay,
you're
that's fair
maintaining it. But if you're losing
Salah and
Van Dijk and keeping Salah, I think there's set of halves you can get because Kane. I think he's unreal. I think he's
Konate, yeah?
Yeah, I think
No,
he's unreal.
No, I think he's got potential.
No, I don't think he's. I think
You
it's
think he's
quality.
the
I
main
think
man?
he's. No, I think he's the main man because Van Dijk's the main man. But listen, I think he's way better than what he's
people
being
give him
credited
credit for, yeah.
Yeah, he's way better.
Okay, fair enough.
And they
Listen,
can get a rubbing.
do you want to talk about your DJing? Can we talk about?
You can talk about it. Yeah.
So listen.
You've been up to a lot since you retired, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm trying a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, trying a lot of stuff.
So we have a DJ on our hands here. Yeah. Listen, I tried my hands on DJ, and I was an MC back in the day. They used to call me Juvenile C.
Juvenile
They used to call. Listen, mate.
because you were childish.
Yeah.
Go on,
Juvenile.
give us something quick.
Enter. Put the wicked chat.
Garage MC. Oh,
Garage,
them
man.
times.
That was my days, man. Garage.
Yeah, mate.
And then I got into like the DJing part because obviously I can't be doing the MCing thing, and I actually DJ'd in central London, with, guess who? Just guess.
He's a known DJ.
No, he's a
just
footballer.
A footballer.
Guess.
Darren Bent.
Nah, I was gonna say a big DJ.
He's not big, but he's a DJ.
Oh, he's actually a DJ.
No, he's a footballer.
But he's a DJ.
He DJs.
Jubel Cece or
No.
Stuart Downing.
No, who?
Do you know Stuart Downing's a big DJ? You didn't know
Stuart Downing.
bro.
Is he?
Not having that.
Is he? I didn't know
Stuart
that.
Downing is a DJ.
Stuart Downing.
No way. Eh?
Bruce Dyer.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Sean Newton and Bruce
Is
Dyer.
Stuart-
Them
Hold
man.
on, wait. Is Stuart Downing? What music does he play?
House, yeah.
Does he?
Yeah,
Does
he's
he?
a big
I'm
DJ.
gonna have to check that
I'll
out.
tell you
That's why
else,
he's
it's
always in
random, not
Ibiza.
Yeah.
No wonder.
I'll tell you who
It's
else.
all adding up.
Massive DJs, random name. Steve Davies, the snooker player.
What? What am I hearing?
This is what
Mate,
I'm saying.
how hard is it? How
learn.
hard is it to learn?
To learn, it's kind of tough, yeah. It depends on what you want to do, what your skill set is, but like I want to be good, so I'm respected. Like not just get gigs because I'm an ex-footballer.
Yeah.
So learning, it's like you just got to put that. Like anything, you just put the hours in. But
Put the hours in.
producing.
Oh, you're
Making
doing that as well.
music.
You're doing that.
I'm
you're
trying
doing
to.
that.
I'm just trying to learn now.
What type of music are we doing?
Like house and that.
House.
When you're
house.
comfortable,
Funky
me and
house.
Colin,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
want to come up and make
Yeah,
a tune.
yeah.
Funky house tech. What?
Yeah.
Tech.
Funky house is not
Funky
a thing.
house.
Like we used to call it.
Funky
yeah,
house.
it's not
what's
really,
it called now? It's like
tech
soulful house,
yeah,
or tech
deep
house.
house,
It's tech house.
minimal,
No, it is tech
yeah,
house.
minimal
I
and
don't
all
even
that.
know what I like.
But
I just like going and listening and saying,
Yeah.
I like it.
I'll send you some mixes that I've done, but yeah, it's like the closest to like the garage feeling.
Yeah,
the vibes and like the
that's what I
vocally
want.
kind of.
Yeah.
I'm
But
well interested to see what you come up with. I'd love to.
So
I'd
you
love
still
to
ain't-
make a tune.
still
You
do
ain't
it,
guessed
yeah.
to the footballer yet, though.
No.
Okay.
Shaun Wright-Phillips.
Oh, you're
Oh,
right.
is it?
Yeah, right.
He,
Bro.
I
Right,
remember when
yeah.
I was playing. Actually, the end he was always into
Yeah,
it. He
We
right.
would
went
make
back
music
to
on the
back in
computer.
central London, bro.
Yeah, righty. I forgot about
Yeah,
righty.
he loves
Back
it.
to back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Righty does it. Yeah.
We went Aura. Remember Aura? Yeah, we went back to back in
He got
Aura.
into house music, didn't he?
Yeah. And he
yeah.
was producing.
Yeah.
He was actually making songs. He went for a stage where he was just making tunes.
on PlayStation back in the day. Remember them times?
Who is your favourite DJ? Not that I know
EZ.
those DJ. EZ.
DJ EZ.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's like
Yeah.
I went to
his
a
technical abilities like
it's mad.
Messy.
Yeah.
Like, when now I know what they're capable of, and I hear him and I see him.
Yeah.
And like my friend went to a thing in Birmingham a few weeks ago, and he sent me the video, and he sent me the clip, and he was like playing garage. It was unreal. I said, but you have no clue what he's actually doing.
He's
like,
mad.
He's not just playing songs like everyone else would play songs. He's playing the decks and that.
The
I'm
decks.
like,
I'm
oh
doing
my
it. It's
God.
the mixing it.
My favourite is Fortet. Like his music's very different to
Yeah.
going to see him live.
Fortet.
Mate, Fortet. Every time I've gone, I've loved it. I've seen him like 6-7 times.
Yeah,
Mate, it's just different for me. It's different to anything else I've been to.
yeah.
And
DJing, I
you
love
know
it.
what?
I love
Like,
it.
like when you think about it, like, I'm a funky house man, garage man. That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's if I could
Mate, I've
make
seen you
if I
happy
could make a
listening to
song.
most things we go to.
No, but that is
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah,
bag.
That's your main
If I could
thing.
make a song or one tune, that's me done. So please start the process so
Starting the
I
process
can
hard,
I
man.
can get on it.
Come along, just please let us have a
I'll
little
show you,
go.
there's a guy
Yeah.
called,
You
I wanna
learn,
go.
you learn everything, and then we just come along. Yeah.
Ad lib some vocals.
I was like, I'll just have a little. I'll have a little.
I'd love
go
to
down.
throw some beats together and come up with a tune.
Yeah,
it's
and that would be
tough,
like
man.
that's
Just makes
history.
people feel good.
Literally that. So it just makes me feel like the feeling I get from doing it and DJing is like so close to the feeling I got when playing.
Oh really?
Yeah, man.
I know. I was saying the other day to Matt, I said, why does everyone go and watch sport? Do you mean someone always goes away miserable, don't they? Someone happy.
Yeah.
Go to a little
DJ.
Everyone's happy.
Go to a little music festival. Everyone goes away
Everyone's
happy.
happy.
Yeah.
'Cause yeah. But I feel like there'll be nothing rewarded if I could make one song. And I'll just
mate,
leave
be
it.
the
I'll
best
just
thing
leave
ever.
it there.
And to see people just
Play
like,
at my
vibing off
play at
it.
my
Oh.
funeral. Play at my funeral. Oh, perfect.
Funky house at his funeral. This guy, man.
I don't want no one crying. I want everyone to be happy, and I've made a song, and I've left it for the future. That's brilliant. But yeah, listen, I think we could wrap it up there, then, boys. And listen, it's great to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Nah,
mate.
man.
Thanks for
appreciate
coming on, and it's been brilliant. Great insight as usual. And I knew that we should have you on. Remember, I actually texted you. No, I messaged you. I said, "When you coming on, bruv?" And then look, we're here.
You know? Yeah.
Straight away, 1 week later.
Manifested it, didn't you?
Manifested it, man, and you're here now. So yeah. Anyway, this was the Dressing Room podcast with Al Arabiya News. Goodbye. See you next week.